same stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna hear it all day. Oh, and this ain't working either.
It's not working?
It's just one of those days. Should have stayed in bed.
Yeah, we could have taken a day off. It's a Monday.
There it is.
At KHMC Magic 95 assumes no responsibility.
None. They want no responsibility for us.
There's all responsibilities for their opinions and guests.
Astros brawl. President Trump signs executive orders, COVID, and a whole lot more coming up on today's show.
Throwback Monday.
Hopefully you can hear us somewhere.
I think they can hear us.
Let's go. Rule number one. No touching of the hair or
No
face.
calls today.
And that's it. Now let's do this.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning to you, brother.
Put your headphones
Well,
on.
I thought
play
nothing else
radio.
works, right?
Yeah, I
Just
know.
do it naked
It might
and
not be.
live. Naked and Afraid, the Wade and Carter show.
That would be scary.
Not so much now that you got your hair cut.
Let's do this.
Deerland Feed brings you the weather for Victoria. For all your farm and ranch needs, for all your really serious home lawn maintenance needs, custom mixed fertilizers, feeds for your animals,
Fencing supplies, they've got it all.
they do. 79 degrees in Victoria, heading to a high today of 96 under mostly cloudy skies.
Right there on Water Street.
I usually say mostly sunny skies, or at least partly sunny. I try to err. I think sun is better than cloud. So I err on the side of positivity, but
But,
mostly cloudy today. Clouds will burn off this evening.
so, see who's in.
Microphone works.
Microphone works.
Let's see if Facebook is working. We can't find our little iRig.
Didn't look in there. I didn't.
I'm looking.
All right. I did not. So that's why the audio is the old school version today.
I drop the ball occasionally, more so than Ash does. Ash really is, folks. Contrary to what you hear on this program most days, Ash is a seasoned, educated radio pro. Now, when somebody drops the ball on a Monday, I would never point.
I can see you.
Oh, forgot about that. I would never point fingers that my partner completely dropped the ball.
Yeah, never.
Man, I tell you what, I feel like Shaq, and you look a little bit like a two guard this morning. What happened there? I think my time at a Splashway bloated me a little.
Maybe a little bit.
What a deal. What a place. Saw all kinds of people. But I saw the world's greatest neighbor, Wendell Geigel. We were guests of Mike and Amanda Blasky. It was Mike's birthday. Today, Sunday was Mike's birthday. We would never,
Mike? No, never.
you know, but if we did, happy birthday, Mike. Then you've got Clayton and Casey Helt were there.
Were they?
They have a
They were. I knew that because you guys all drunk FaceTime me.
no, there was none of that. There was all responsible adulthood. But they have a son, Carter, and they have a daughter named Cody. Cody knew one gear, man. Cody was like, you know, those old 2-speed automatics where it had like a granny to get going.
Yeah.
It was all to the floor after that.
And you might hit 70 going downhill.
Yeah, but she hit 65 for 22 straight hours. I mean, we were all eating red meat at 9 o'clock, trying to wind it down, and Cody wanted another Dr. Pepper. I mean, it was on. She's like 3 years old, and she's a bundle of fun. I had a blast with her in the pool, throwing her. She would come up and go, it went up my nose. The water went up my nose. Awesome young lady. Great family.
HR Mallory checking in. He's first one in this morning. Wins you nothing,
Yeah. Congrats, HR.
as it has for almost 5 years now.
Right. Sheriff Louderback, good morning, my friend. He was off at some training And that tells you something. Think about how much you learned from Sheriff Louderback.
And
in one
he's still
day.
learning. Yeah.
And that's why, he went off and did some advanced training. I asked him what he was training in and said I didn't have the clearance. He couldn't tell me. Pressure points, Achilles clips, whatever it takes. Cut your Achilles.
How to hog tie you.
He'll cut your Achilles. You'll get back there and you'll just shove everything out to the right.
2 wraps and a half hitch.
It'll end your career. Speaking of a career getting started, Colin Morikawa.
Just his second major ever, and he wins the PGA Championship, becomes one of the youngest major winners ever?
Yeah, he joins only. So they played at Harding Park in San Francisco, about 25 miles south.
Named after that racist President Warren Harding.
Yeah, no doubt. And Mr. Morikawa goes out yesterday. I'll tell you what I knew when I turned it on. Honestly, I turned on the TV. Dustin Johnson, him of he
was in the running.
I said, no way.
He was the only one of the 3 guys you and I named that might have a chance to actually somewhat be in the running.
Yeah, no way this clown wins.
Tiger couldn't putt.
Couldn't win. Well, and that's what I told you yesterday. As I watched it in stereotype, I knew that Dustin Johnson would choke it away, which of course he did. He's just not clutch. To be a much better player than anybody you've ever met. He's still just terrible. Then I watched a bunch of guys. Brooks Koepka really, really mailed it in. He had like 5 bogeys on the day. But I watched a bunch of guys missing putts. I mean, 3 and 4 footers. Now, those greens on the West Coast will get sticky. Poiana.
Is that what they are?
Usually. That's the easiest grass to grow out there. But the temperature, interesting. Wind's blowing 15 miles an hour. It's 100% humidity. And it was 65 degrees. Nobody.
The caddies were in like wind coats.
Yeah, but no player. I watched a kid that I really liked, Tony Finau.
Yep.
Nice player. Big old kid. I think he's going to size 15.
I thought he was going to win it.
I did too. He's close to breaking through and winning a major. But this kid, this Morikawa, played at Cal, played 4 years of college golf. I think he won the U.S. Amateur, I believe. Not positive. I just made that up. But I think he's a U.S. Amateur winner. Joins only the great Jack Nicklaus, the incomparable Tiger Woods, and the Irish phenom Rory McIlroy. Only those 3 as major winners before their 24th birthday.
Wow.
Very interesting.
And Rory was in the running after day 1, I think.
Yeah. But then he remembered that he's married to that supermodel chick.
Yeah, Morikawa only wins $2 million yesterday.
Oh, that's all.
That's it.
What he wins, though, is, golfing immortality. I mean, you're made from now on. From now on.
You got like a lifetime exemption into the PGA Championship?
Absolutely. And wherever he plays from now on, the 2020 PGA Championship winner. That's how they'll introduce him.
Does that get him into the Masters?
For sure. For probably the next 5 years.
Because they haven't played the Masters yet, did they?
They're not going to this year.
Oh, they just decided to do away with it?
They've got a tournament next weekend or the week after. It's just a 2-day tournament. Like they're playing on Saturday and Sunday.
Wow.
So I guess everybody makes
36 holes?
I guess. Well, that would be better. It's funny how in baseball they want to drop everything down, play double headers, and play 7 innings. In golf, they say go play 36 on Saturday and 36 on Sunday.
Bobby Leister, good morning. Lisa Poole.
For $2 million, would you?
Yeah.
If you could?
If I could. Marvin Mick, I couldn't afford to get there.
Those guys.
I would be out. That 36 holes for me would turn into. That would be the equivalent of playing 72 holes in one day, the way they set those courses up and as fast as those greens are. I'd stick handle them like Gretzky, trying to get it in the hole.
If you had to play 36 holes on a PGA Tour course from their length,
walking,
it would be this, literally. Ash Wallichild misses the cut after shooting 132 self-disqualifying. He withdrew after 12. And it was plus 40. His caddy, Brent Carter, said we gave it our all. We left everything out there.
Here's the thing.
You'd be throwing up by the green.
I would tee off from their tee boxes, And
still be in the rough.
Exactly.
In the
With my
area.
length, I still wouldn't reach the fairway.
We'd be there going, Titleist, especially a Titleist.
The only hole I might have a chance on yesterday to even look at something under par would have been the 16th, 257 par 4.
Yeah, that was really an interesting hole because the trees come down the side. They had the pin tucked in by a bunker.
Trees on the right. No, there's no chance.
And that kid just hit it right over the top of the trees and let it roll out to about 12 feet. 2-putted for birdie. Thank you. Went on down the green. Awesome.
Karen Webb checking in. Chris Conrad, good morning. Judge Posey, Scott Tomko.
Good morning, Judge.
Carl Big Boy Smith, C.W. Bean, Bob Watley, Greg Garcia. Good morning to you. Stephen Kidder.
Wow, what a great crew.
Adam Daughtry. Scott Snow, Matt Boucher, Philip Barone.
Hello, Philip.
Yeah,
Chris
Conrad says Facebook audio is like YouTube.
We apologize. We got off, for those of you that joined us over 5 minutes ago, we left without the iRig. Somehow it's really a handy little tool, but this is like, we're making chicken salad here, folks. We're calling it a throwback Monday.
Because it is. This is how we used to do the show for probably 2 years.
Now watch. Okay, let's see what we got here.
Patrick Strauss, good morning. David Glass, J Dub says they're heading to a high of 75 in Calgary today. Adam Daughtry, good morning. Amanda Bloschke. I am distraught about my Rangers, J Dub, but you know what? My Flames are moving on. The Flames in Dallas in the opening round of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs beginning tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think. Maybe
I'm
today.
trying to get a feel for like where your head's at. J-Dub.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Help me out, J-Dub. This would be like me saying, I'm distraught about my Cowboys, but my Chiefs are doing pretty good. But where does that come from? That's not fandom. That's cutting your losses. That's hedging your bet.
No, because as I've explained, the Rangers were in town when we didn't have an NHL team in Calgary growing up.
I know. Yeah, you were born a poor black child in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Yeah, I know.
So then when I was a Rangers fan as a kid, and then the Flames came to town, you don't just drop one. Different conferences.
Right.
The way they play, they'll never meet in the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm good.
By that logic,
they'll never play for the Stanley Cup Finals.
By that logic, you could have another wife in another city. What?
It's not the same.
I hadn't met Cheryl. I was in Toronto. I mean, one thing led to another.
It's not the same.
Well, no, it's not. But I'm saying, I mean, you're right. Hockey's more important than marriage to you Canadians. Hockey, marriage. You're like, hey, hockey lasts forever. Marriages come and go. This is hockey.
You understand Canadians.
Right. Yeah, I do. I mean, I got you in a corner, don't I? Which do you want forever? Cheryl? Or Flames in the playoffs?
Cheryl.
Flames in the championship?
It's a no-brainer. Cheryl.
Flames with the cup.
Cheryl.
You are programmed. That's not what you said 10 minutes ago. You said I'd trade my wife and kids for a Flames championship.
No, kids maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a win-win, right? Yeah. Talk about a win-win. If you need him, you call Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Not only will he get your vehicle where it needs to be, he'll also protect you and your family. You have an incident, you have a fender bender, you need to get some help right now, you just dial 578-6300. 578-6300, Allen's Wrecker Service. They have units all over town. They will dispatch to your locale post haste. Secure the area. Make sure you're away. They know things. Hey, come with us. Back down this. Get off on the shoulder. They're smart. They've done it. They've seen it all, and they'll help you get to safety and protect your vehicle. 578-6300. That's Allen's Wrecker Service. The VCS Companies, Rocket Oilfield Services, and the only locally owned and authorized AT&T retailer.
The only one.
All part of the Hartman Empire. If it communicates, if it videos, if it controls electronically, If it swings open, if it's solar panel powered, reach out to the Hartmans at VCS. Say, you ever known anybody that could do this or this? And they'll go, yes, we do that. We need to monitor the temperature of students returning to school, but we don't know how to do it without just one little handheld. We can do that. Give us a call. We'll take care of you at VCS.
I think that technology is amazing.
SCT Building Systems got some bad news for you.
564-8864. They changed their number? No.
Clayton and Casey both told me that we've been advertising totally wrong.
Uh-oh.
They weren't upset about it. They just thought it was funny. They don't do a lot of the stuff that we said they do. They said they could do it, but they didn't stop us because they were hoping they'd get some calls to do it. But the reality is they typically build metal buildings.
Okay.
That's what they do.
Red iron and purlin.
That's it.
That's it.
And Clayton said,
And they landscape.
and he said, we're the best at it. Now, what he said is, for example, if you want to build a barn dominium, they can do the push, pull, build the metal, put up the veneers and all that. And then in comes somebody like Brian Rokita
To do the inside.
to do the inside, or RCR to do the inside.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And clean it all up, make it a house. They'll give you the shell, dried in, good to go. And and that's how they started, as a sub-4 builders. But now they'll help you initiate your project and they'll find the builder to do the inside. It's a little different program now.
Flipped it on its head.
They're working for you.
Yeah. Nice.
564-8864. And then when you're done, this has not changed and won't change for 100 years.
It hasn't changed for 100 years.
116 West Wanland, the corner of Wanland and Bridge, Chestnut Furniture Company. Reach out to Bobby Leon and his wonderful family. 70 years at that location, Ash.
I know. Think they're tired of it yet?
No, because you walk in and the value's still there. Chestnut and Love make your house a home, and you just do better at Chestnut. There's Dawn Nicole checking in. Dawn says, I think that you and I need to focus a little bit. I kind of got chastised that we don't spend enough time, acknowledging that she checks in. She goes, it's tough. I've got this hair. I've got to do a little makeup. She goes, it's tough, but I always make time to get in. Y'all need to, point out that I'm there.
We
she
just
didn't
did.
really say that.
I know.
I do that anyway, just to, pick on her.
Arthur O'Brien, good morning to you. Mike Cavazos says the Masters is in November.
Oh, thanks, Mike. That really is terrible because there won't be any
No azaleas
azaleas.
blooming. The dogwoods won't be blooming.
You might see that trailer park that's behind number 12. Good morning, OB. I hope you're doing good, my friend.
Jenna West, good morning to you. Stephen Kidder.
OB, it's not a good day to call and talk hockey because we don't have our setup.
Yeah,
Hey,
calls
there's
won't
David
go well
Roger.
together.
Good morning, David. Hope you're doing
Jeffrey
great, buddy.
Fonseca, good morning. Tom Price. Christina
Now,
Wise.
what did BJ Nelson say? Big day in.
I don't know. Right there. Maybe replying to that.
Yeah.
Who else is in?
I ran into a guy the other day at HEB that I didn't know.
Arthur O'Brien says Rangers versus Flames. Spielberg wouldn't write that fairy tale.
Right.
Ain't that the truth? Well, it won't happen this year. Rangers are out.
He's got to be a Bruins guy. Being from Boston.
Yeah.
From Boston.
Could there, and this is more for Arthur and J Dub, but the Stanley Cup qualifiers, very good hockey, inspired hockey. They were playing to get into the playoffs. Now we lose Brent because of this. But the round robin to determine the seeding of the first 4 teams or the top 4 teams in each conference, absolutely the most uninspired hockey that you could play in the reboot that I could ever imagine. They knew they were in. They didn't care if they were 1 or 4. It was just
They just wanted to battle. Just wanted to play some hockey.
yeah, but they didn't even. It was like going through the motions. I mean, I've never seen guys so uninspired to be on the ice. Yet the qualifying teams, the ones that were actually playing to get into the playoffs, which start tomorrow,
Playoffs.
that was playoff hockey.
We're talking playoffs.
Yeah.
Don Nicole clarifies, you always see me late. I'm in at 7. BJ Nelson coming in with more minutia. St. Joe starts school. Okay. She says that RCR
And White Trash Services
are
partnering.
partnering.
Yeah. Chris Conner says the round robin was like preseason. Yeah, very much so.
So tell me this: if you lived in Sacramento, California,
Yeah.
who would your hockey team be? The Kings?
No, I would probably guess San Jose, the Sharks, since they came to town, would
Okay.
probably be the team.
So my buddy Arthur
Prior to
O'Brien,
that, maybe, prior to that, depending where you're from.
he's from Boston.
So he's a Bruins fan.
He's a Bruins fan. And do you think that he's a Bruins fan? Or do you think he's like, well, I like the Bruins, but if they're not doing so good, I like the Sharks?
I bet you he cheers for both.
You're
He'll
just
cheer,
trying,
he'll
it's a
cheer for the hometown.
rationalization.
There's a lot of Canadians that still cheer for Montreal and Calgary. There's a lot. J-Dub is a Flyers fan. Same reason. He grew up a Flyers fan. There were no Flames. Flames come to town. He cheers for both.
So
My brother
when
Corky's.
y'all were little, did you and him argue like Rangers, Flyers, Rangers?
No, the
Flyers?
Flyers were way better than the Rangers back then.
So why did you saddle your horse to two losers? Did you have like a
Man, Flames won the Cup in '89.
89? I mean, hey, Cowboys won the championship in 95 and 96.
That was 93, 94.
Whatever. That's how long ago it was. We don't know anymore.
Yeah, but at least we got one.
Steelers. I mean, Steelers. Come on. Got one for the thumb. Remember when the Steelers were good? Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Carl Big Boy Smith says congratulations to Carter on becoming a new uncle.
Yes, very, very excited. And well pointed out. It's public news now. Johnny Stockbauer, J4, and Jade Choppa Stockbauer. Lovely couple, wonderful people, family. You got to say it. It's part of the program.
Yeah.
Welcome to JC. It's interesting to me because before they were married, Joey, John Stockbauer III, called Jade JC. And they named their daughter JC, Jaycey. Perfect. Beautiful. Little bitty thing. Just under 6 pounds.
Well,
The
have you
hands are
seen
so-
Mom?
Yeah. Well, Mom weighs 47 pounds. Yeah.
Soaking wet.
Soaking wet.
Well pregnant.
Honestly, I'll bet you, I'm making up numbers. It's not a HIPAA violation. I'm not a doctor. I bet you she didn't gain 25 pounds.
I'll be honest. The last time I saw her, I didn't even know she was pregnant.
Right.
Although that was 10 months ago.
Good. Still.
Kelly promises the world is currently uninspiring. It's not just the hockey.
The world,
Good point.
But I'll
point.
tell you something that we're all missing. And I mean this. I saw one the other
Look,
day.
Heather Monroe's back in from
Oh.
Toronto.
MUNRO.
Yep.
I know that this is
Leafs lost yesterday. Made me happy.
interesting. This is interesting to me, and it's probably nothing new to you being a Canadian. I'm not being silly here. But there was a face covering with built-in earmuffs that just goes around the back of your head. And it said, winter's coming, get ahead of the COVID curve. It was funny. It was cute. It was kind of a gimmicky thing. But the reality is, somewhere right now, there's a real smart group of people who are going to make some money off this COVID thing. There's money to be made. There's opportunity in chaos.
Well, Duke University researchers found out that the neck gaiters, neck fleeces,
The one like I was wearing Friday.
don't work. Actually, or worse, they force your droplets to become smaller, which means they get aerolized longer because smaller droplets aren't heavy and they don't fall to the ground as quickly.
Folks, when you get to the point where they're analyzing moisture droplets, it's all ridiculous BS. Get over it.
Time to stop funding that research, don't you
No
think?
doubt. I did. Good morning, Clayton Help. I did talk to Dr. McNeil last week, Friday evening. And you folks, really, keep these folks in your prayers. Dr. McNeil was whooped. Tired, worn out. He said that, it's been crazy the last couple of weeks. I did see the numbers were down. I think
13 cases yesterday. was
Yeah,
the number I saw.
16 the day before. Maybe we've hit that little plateau. He did point out to me that
Maybe it was just a lag, and maybe we're just so backed up in testing we don't have the results in.
this was his take. He said that he's got people in the ER now who were in the hospital last week, who were sick the week before, who were out on July 4th the week before. He said, I'm just telling you that we saw a huge spike in Victorians are social people. That's one thing that's true. I mean, right? I mean, you'll see literally how many times have you gone somewhere and every guy that walks through the door has got a case of beer. People came to stay and socialize. They eat together, they drink together, they drink after each other. It's just the way Victoria is. Very social town.
But I think it's the way people are, and that's why this is so hard on people to stay put and not do anything, because people by nature are social creatures.
So they're not staying put, and then they're getting sick. But I don't know that I read another study, or you sent it to me. One of us had it because we do so much show prep. It's relentlessly tiring. About the fact that there was a study in Britain, 20,000 students, and said that the kids getting together did not increase the spread of the disease. I don't know any more than that.
And then last week, a couple schools in Georgia, like 2 days after they opened, kids got tested or ended up being positive for the COVID. So my brain starts spinning on that. You're 2 days in, this is a 2 to 14, actually probably less than that now, I think 2 to 10 day incubation period. So if these kids went back to school Monday and they got the test results in 2 days later, unless it was a rapid test, there's no way those kids just became positive by going to school.
I agree. 100%.
They already had it, and they tested, and the test results came in 2 days later. Like I said, unless it was a rapid test, because nobody's getting test results back in 2 days. So, and then all the headlines, oh, school's back and kids are positive. They try to make a correlation between going back to school and being positive. No, these kids are already positive. And if they were showing symptoms, shame on mom and dad for sending them back to school.
Right. Of course, Donald Trump's saying now you can get COVID from TikTok. Be very careful.
Yeah.
That'll be the next thing. You can get it by texting or by being on your cell phone. You can transmit it through the 5G network. Could happen. Hey, John Howard says, what? There's nothing to do in Victoria.
Nothing.
How can anybody get sick?
Adam Sugar says socially antisocial.
Good point.
Jimbo Slice, remember last fall when schools were closing for a week or so because so many students were getting flu-like symptoms? I don't remember that.
No, we have no recollection of that.
Heather Monroe says it's the younger people that aren't listening and doing what they should and just doing what they want to be doing instead of practicing social distancing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, young people, hormones alone won't let you practice social distancing.
No.
It's incredible how the University of Texas sent out with a serious tone. There will be no parties this semester on campus or off. Like, you can really legislate that I can't have a party when I'm living out off Riverside Drive. Come on, man.
I didn't think you could have a party on campus.
Well, in theory, you can't.
CW Bean says it's false testing.
CWB had a birthday this weekend.
Jeff Fonseca says mom went back to school via ISD staff. She's kind of nervous.
We don't ever say birthday wishes, CW, but as a top fan, if we did, we'd say happy birthday to you, sir. Adam Sugar says you got to fight for your right to party.
Darn right.
Exactly right.
Jimbo Slice says probably not Victoria, but he knows that Goliad and Yorktown did shut down last fall.
Oh, they shut down or they partied? They shut down and had a party.
Yeah, probably.
Last fall, meet us at the bonfire. Bring a case of Old Milwaukee's best.
Flu party.
Yeah.
Everybody will get it so we can go back to school next week.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all. I've just got this hacking cough, unproductive cough.
Slight fever. Ringing in my ears.
Oh, wow. HR says good luck with that, TU. The Aggie in him comes out. It's just
every
so
once in a while.
spiteful.
I know.
I like it.
You think the Aggies haven't put a similar statement out?
Well, the Aggies are hoping now that they just call off football season because the Aggies, they had pick a school, North Texas and UTSA, or McNeese State, Abilene Christian. Well, the SEC comes in and says, hey, guess what? We're going to play a 10-game schedule. Everybody in the SEC, they pick up Florida and Tennessee. And immediately people were like, well, now we've got to beat either Auburn or Alabama on the road or we don't have a chance. And I'm like, dude, can't
You had to do that already and you didn't have a chance.
Just be positive. I've got the Aggies going 5-5 now, 6-4 at best, and hoping that they can dodge Texas in the next Alamo Bowl. You know, we don't want to play them there. I mean, good, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it at Jerry World. We can make a buck. That's exactly what happens every bowl season when our two mediocre programs ought to be playing each other. Both Texas and A&M officials were like, no, we're not going to do that and give all the money to Belk or Tostitos. We're going to wait till we play that game ourselves. We're going to tease it for 6 months. We're going to sell T-shirts.
There's my mom checking in.
Hello, Aunt Tina.
Hi, Mom.
Hope you're doing well. Yeah, well, you see, that's not going to happen. You won't see Texas and A&M in a bowl game unless it were the national championship game. And we know that ain't going to happen.
Well, what happens, though, if you're contractually obligated as the number 4 team in the Big 12 to face the number 4 team in the SEC?
I'm telling you, they would not do it. No chance in the world that they would waste that marketing opportunity. They could sell 2 T-shirts, one for the bowl and one for the big showdown. Never going to happen. Not a chance.
I agree.
Yeah, there's not a chance. Yeah. Texas would say, I'm sorry, to protect our players, we simply can't go to that bowl game. And then the Aggies, y'all are scared of us. What they don't know is that the 2 ADs, the guys that work at Ash's level, said, you want to give up that $20 million payday? If we played right now, if we made a vow that on January the 5th, Texas would play A&M, you could sell that on pay-per-view for tens of millions of dollars.
You're going to have to if you're going to want to. Well, they couldn't because it's on the Longhorn Network or the SEC Network.
Right. No, we'd have to do it on the, we'd have to do it on like the WWE Network, have Vince McMahon. We'd have Michael Buffer. Michael Buffer's brother does the voice of the MMA deal.
Does he?
It's kind of like a little JUCO. Are you ready? Yeah, fight. Go ahead, fight.
It's kind of like Greg Gumbel to Brian Gumbel.
A lot like that, but Greg had the better flow. They were both capable, though.
Yeah, they were.
Brian Gumbel became, I was going to say like Oprah, where everything was about, he's a committed guy, and he's a top-notch broadcaster. Right?
Sports just didn't do it for him anymore.
No, he needed to be into like 2020, not 60 Minutes, 2020. He's more into social injustice and all that. Has anybody else besides me, I'm just going down a rabbit trail here. If I lose you, just bring me back. Is anybody else tired of hearing Oprah talk about my whiteness and how that no matter what happens to me, I've still got my whiteness? Let me ask you people this.
I don't even know that people paid attention to what Oprah said other than to bash her on Twitter and then move on to the next one.
I want you to think about the fact. These are indisputable facts about Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey was born in the 50s to a poor and underprivileged Black family. Grew up, I think I might be making this up, but I think grew up with a single mother, clawed her way through the public school system, fought for her opportunity to work at a Chicago television station, had the chutzpah to turn down everybody's help in order to retain her syndication rights and all of that, and became a billionaire multi-times over through sheer will, hard work, determination,
smarts.
And now that person who is not just a success, she's an overwhelming achiever of greatness.
And probably did it in one of the most sexist industries that you could ever be involved in the 60s and 70s. And TV broadcasting.
Amid racism, systemic racism, misogynism, she does it all.
The jokes and the punchlines in the movie Anchorman and Anchorman 2,
Oprah lived them.
Rooted in a lot in truth and real life experience.
Heather Monroe points out, and you are correct, Heather, that Oprah was raised by her grandmother. So how can a person who, I guess, other than just sheer arrogance, fought the country that allowed that to happen. There is no other place on the planet where you're born the disparaged minority. You've got no systemic opportunities. You've got nothing in your quiver. You don't have a family unit. You're living with your grandmother. Everybody's against you, and you're going to become a billionaire. That ain't happening in Moscow, people.
Well, because not everyone was against her, obviously.
But the whole point is she bashes the very nation that
allowed that
at the
to
very
happen.
least gave her the opportunity, and then says, no matter whatever happens to you, at least you're still white. I mean, if it weren't for the fact that she weighs as much as I do, I might trade with her. She's older than me.
She wouldn't have traded the opportunity.
You remember Chris Rock? Chris Rock said, there ain't one of y'all out there to trade places, one of you white people trade places with me, and I'm rich. That's what he said. He goes, no, I'm just going to hang on to this white thing for a while, see where it leads me. But if you want to get your brown on, today's a great day to go to Veracruz. Get in there, because white people can't make queso like this. Hot sauce, guacamole like this. How creamy is that guacamole?
Creamy.
Nothing like a partner who has the right thing to say at the right time. You were just thinking about clearing your throat or something like that. Veracruz.
Taught me for
enchiladas, tacos, things that Dawn will let me eat, taco salads, chalupas. Today's a great day for Veracruz at lunch. You can also call and order a enchilada casserole, 576-6015. Razor IT Solutions, JP Hull wants to come in and talk baseball. He's got his bet going with the, they've got the over and under.
What's the over under this year?
I think his number was 36.5, and I told him, oh man, the Astros are going to blow through that. Guess what? I told him yesterday, you took the under, you're looking pretty smart. He never loses this bet. They win the bet every year.
Did he take the under?
Yes.
Okay.
And the bet's gotten so lopsided that they don't even collect anymore.
They don't start playing better. They're going to be lucky to be 500.
Yeah. Real lucky. But Razor IT Solutions bats 1,000, helping you analyze your analytics, collect data, watch your encryption, build your website, build your brand, help you with Facebook. You need to collect money online. They can do a pay button. They can tie it right into your QuickBooks, tie it right into your inventory. We sold a T-shirt. That money goes into the accounting. This comes off the inventory. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody's secure. You're a winner. Razor IT Solutions. Shop online, adsandoffer.com.
Cadillac, Chevrolet, Mitsubishi, Mazda.
Since 1926.
They've been Victoria's dealership.
Only 94 years. I'm not sure they're going to make it.
No,
I think they're going to make it. If you don't buy it today, they'll be there tomorrow. But Tommy Taylor says they're selling cars like candy bars. You
stack them deep, sell them cheap.
Absolutely. Do it. Just down the road from high prices. That's an offer Chevrolet.
On the Navarro Motor Mile.
Always talking. That's nice. Remember that one, the Navarro Motor Mile. That dealership's about a mile long.
Yeah.
Ed Adsenhofer started buying up that farmland. That was out in the middle of nowhere. Nothing out there.
I've seen pictures. I wasn't here.
Oh, craziness. White Trash Services growing, blowing, and going. They've doubled their facility size since they moved out off of Aloe Field.
They're going to have to look for a new location.
They're just buying up all the property out there.
That'll work too.
550-1826. That's the number to reach out. You need a roll-off dumpster. You need service.
Weekly trash collection. They can do it all.
Do it. There's Wendell Geigel, world's greatest neighbor, checking in. Wendell's, a fireman and a good one and a drone pilot and all the cool stuff that he does. And I asked him about the label that the fire station out there off Ball Airport Road between Glasgow and 77 or Glasgow and Northside Road. I asked him if it was true that they call that the vacation station. And he just said, what's your point? Who told you that? What do you want to know for? I think they do gourmet cooking classes out there. They do origami, maybe some knitting.
paper mache.
Yes, they'll make a. You want a pinata for a birthday, a kidsie or something? Yeah, call the vacation station of the Victoria Fire Department.
Here's the next one, Wendell, because it's starting to come back. Macrame.
Macrame.
Remember that stuff from the 70s? It's back. Heather Monroe asks, how long have you been doing the show? Almost 4 years.
Fondue and macrame at the vacation station in Victoria Fire. Just show up. They'll have a snack for you. Can you see Wendell?
Fondue, that's queso, isn't it?
In like a little gingham apron with like fruit tray, dried sausage. Yeah, we started the show in November of
November 1st of 2016. Yep.
Yeah.
Just in time for Trump's election victory.
It's funny. I had met T-Lap in September.
HR Mallory says, I always seen that truck from there making an HEB run. I don't think that's true because I don't think they're allowed to make those runs. They have to stay within a certain radius.
The one he's seeing is the one off of Salem Road.
Yeah.
But you're right, HR. They will fire up a $900,000 truck that takes a gallon and a half of diesel to get moving and drive it to HEB under the guise of, testing the vehicle.
Guys got to eat.
Then they load up a bunch of groceries and take it back. Take it back.
They got to eat.
Got to eat.
Got to eat.
So their schedule is 48 on, 72 off. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Like you go in at 6 o'clock on a Friday and you stay till 6 o'clock on a Sunday. But then you get a couple, maybe it's 4 days, so 2 on, 4 off, something like that. But in 2 days, you work 48 hours, and they're literally on call.
Yeah.
A guy like you, your liver could seize.
Not mine, yours.
You were in there for 2 days straight.
See how red your nose is this morning?
That's a sunburn, people. I've got witnesses.
All right, just checking.
I have a sunburn. I have throat.
That ain't from doing your best Mickey Mantle impression?
No.
Off the field Mickey Mantle impression.
Mickey Mantle. How many pictures have you seen of Mickey like with a long neck in the clubhouse? He's got like ice on his knee and he's sitting a beer on it to keep it cold. While DiMaggio's over there working a GERD, like a Chesterfield or something.
They had to. Not only were they sponsored by him, but it's how they got their lungs in shape.
You know who used to smoke? We've had this conversation, but you remember Keith Hernandez? Played for the Mets for a long time.
Played first base. Right. He could have smoked one during the game and not had a problem.
No, this is a true story. Now think about a guy. This is a true story. Smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a game. Now listen.
Yeah, but he didn't smoke every cigarette all the way. There's some defense to him.
Never smoked in the offseason. What
never inhaled.
What kind of constitution do you have to burn 60 Gerts in a game? And he said that in the dugout, he would go in the tunnel and just light one off another, just stand there and just smoke all during. And I don't know if the nicotine gave him that little buzz that kept him rolling.
Maybe.
But then he said by the time the season ended, he was so sick of smoking that he quit and just never smoked at all in the offseason. That's craziness.
It's like the stories of those parents that catch their kids smoking and just make them smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, hey, Bob Wiley says, hats off to our fire department. Most people now are 7 off and then 7 off. True point. When is this country going to get back to work? Again, there's opportunities. Yeah. There are opportunities right now. Man, it's unbelievable.
Well, let's take our final break, and then we'll get into the 4 executive orders or 3 executive orders, 1 memorandum, or 3 memorandums, 1 executive order, however.
Here's an executive
on Friday.
Order. Get to Uncle Mutt's Barbecue.
I got there last week.
Brisket, ribs, chicken, sausage, turkey, all the side dishes, fried corn, green beans, pinto beans, cabbage, pea salad, my favorite, coleslaw, potato salad. They've got it all. They always have desserts too. We don't talk about it, but they've got desserts too, whatever you need. Yeah. They have the best iced tea in town, period. Nobody's come up to me and said, well, have you had so-and-so's iced tea? Everybody agrees Uncle Mutt's has the best iced tea. They'll sell you that by the gallon.
They will.
It's about $47.50 a gallon. Not really. You can buy it. It's inexpensive. And Uncle Mutt's Barbecue is just, they're iconic to me because the Arterberries are constantly with no fanfare giving back. It's Ron Koshin. You find Ron Koshin, you ask him what he thinks about Katina Arterberry. Fantastic company.
Katina almost gets embarrassed when we talk.
She
about
does,
this
and
stuff.
I feel like I owe it to you to mention it to you, but I've never been prompted by them to mention anything they do on the side. But so much. I mean, that 1 year at Port O'Connor, I think Jonathan fed like 3,500 people.
Crazy.
Just ridiculous. Reach out to Uncle Mud's. Support those that support you. You're going to need them someday. Be glad they're here. Went services, whether you need solar panels, battery backups for those solar panels, which are kind of a new thing. A generator, if you need home electrical service, they've got certified plumbers. Went Services is more than just Went Electrical. Reach out to Went and let all your
electrical needs get taken care of.
Yeah, but I was glad you're engaged. I was thinking about all your.
I was trying to see where you were going with this. I was caught up in your narrative.
I was too, but then my mind took a break. No, I was thinking about like whether you need electrical work, plumbing work, you need to enhance your electrical system. They've got generators that test themselves and talk to you on an app. Reach out to Went, get advice. Get good advice from them. And you need advice on your next party. Call Cheryl.
Call my lovely wife. She can handle it.
920-6803. 920-6803. She won't charge you to talk to you.
No.
Tell her, hey, Wade and Carter sent me. We're thinking about having a party for 80 groups of 10. We're going to socially distance with 80 groups of 10.
So it's 80 parties.
Right, but all in one building. And we'd like for you to help us decorate. Sure. What do you want to do? Well, I don't know yet. Well, let's get together and visit. Wear your mask. Come on over. 920-6803. And then, of course, USA
Concrete Coatings.
Is it part of USA Foundation Repair? If you reach out,
wholly owned subsidiary
of USA Foundation, reach out to Charlie Garcia, 578-HOME, HOME. 578. He'll help you make your garage into a showplace.
They can cover up old tile,
porch,
a lot of stuff they can do.
Bedroom floor.
Yep. Pull up the carpet. You want something new? They could finish off.
I'll tell you what
they could probably redo the concrete in your whole house if you don't want to put down flooring.
Well, that's one thing I thought of is let's say you have animals, and one of them just can't quite make it outside like she used to. If you have a room with this flooring, it will not absorb odor. It will not stain. It will not. Just go in there and damp mop it.
Yeah. Won't crack, won't peel.
There you go.
Chris Conrad, that's who I was thinking of. Guy Lafleur was probably the best winger in the NHL in the 70s and 80s growing up. French guy, played for Montreal, of course.
Of course.
They all did back then. But there's a guy that scored 50, 60 goals a year, not playing with Gretzky. And
I don't think you scored. I think you're stretching that.
And I mean,
40 tops. Nobody scored 50, 60 goals before Gretzky.
Oh, yeah. Him, Phil Esposito, Bobby Hull, all pretty close were. But 2 packs a day.
Hockey. Come on.
Like between periods, he'd be in there. Nobody was on the bench. It wasn't like baseball. You didn't see guys on the bench just working them. But
they might have Mickey.
But in the locker room between games,
or between periods, gloves, take out a little Mickey.
Well, they were higher back then too. Yeah, you could.
I bet if you got with somebody and told the old stories, it would make Slapshot look like a church movie.
It would.
I bet you there's stories about teammates fighting on the bus. I'm serious. I bet you there's stories. Hockey is just a different breed of cat. And like I was going to say the worst, the most eccentric things about other sports were commonplace in hockey. Teams meeting in the parking lot after the game and fighting. I guarantee you real stuff went down back then.
Maybe not at the NHL level, but certainly at minor league and lower levels.
Jeff Fonseca says, this segment brought to you by Pall Mall.
Yeah. Chesterfield.
Is that a location, Pall Mall?
I have no idea.
Like if Ashley Paul had a mall, Pall Mall.
Might be. Adam Sugar says you can smoke in hockey. No, they would smoke between periods. They used to call it going for fresh air.
Wow.
put their skate guards on and step out the back
I
door.
remember seeing pictures of events at Madison Square Garden where you were in the upper seats and you were getting secondhand smoke.
You couldn't see what was going on.
Yeah, it was a cloud.
Think about that. I'm still old enough to remember when you could smoke inside arenas. I mean, not just for concerts, obviously.
Right.
When you'd smell that as a kid. But, I mean, you would see the haze and the lights at a hockey game.
There was something kind of cool about being at a concert and people held up a lighter, but it wasn't so cool. It's not so cool when they hold up an iPhone.
No.
It's not the same.
Not the same. Careful, you're going to burn someone
You
with
could
that
be old
thing.
school firing up that big lighter at the concert.
Or you knew you were really cool when you had a Zippo.
Oh, when you flick it open. You remember the guy that could flick it open, drag it on his pants
And not light his pants on fire?
Right.
So up with the Astros, lose 3 straight to the A's. Get in a brawl yesterday because 2 different pitchers hit the same guy in the same arm.
They're getting beat every way you can think of.
So
In
then
the
he
parking lot, on the sidelines, everywhere.
So then he starts walking down first and he's chirping at the pitcher. I don't remember which Bailey hit him first. I don't remember who.
And the Astros are in the first base dugout. That's the important thing to know.
Yeah. So as he's walking there, then he starts challenging the guys on the bench.
And the guy that's yelling the most is wearing like a warm-up jacket. Like
I couldn't tell who it was. Yeah, I couldn't tell who it was. And then I think Dustin Garneau ended up tackling. I can't remember the A's player's name, but
Romero
started a big brawl. I mean, when I first heard they got a brawl, I figured somebody had hit one of the Astros and finally they'd have enough because they've been taking it all season after, the cheating stuff. But
it's just such they're operating in such a vacuum because every team was doing what the Astros were doing. The Astros were just a little more efficient with the whole drum thing. But the reality is every team was monitoring every pitch on a camera and relaying info to the dugouts.
Well, the Yankees were allegedly doing it already earlier this year.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Johnny Hodden says when he first joined the Army, they would do a 6-mile run every morning, and the old timers would be lighting up before and after the run. I'd never figured out how they did it.
Man, I
don't know how they did it either.
Some of those folks are just tough. Thank God we had them. I don't know what they would do now. Like, can you just imagine if you had to put in subscription and start? Is it subscription? They're called
Prescriptions.
What do you call it when you draft people? Subscription, right?
Doesn't sound right.
Help me out.
Somebody
Fonseca will know. But the whole point is
conscription.
Astros are playing the poop, low energy team now. I agree. Michael Jolly comes in with some serious baseball talk. Playing like poop.
Conscription, I think, isn't it?
Conscription, yes, there you go. Can you imagine now, though, if you have you'd have that one group of guys over there, I don't like these uniforms. It's no good for me.
Patrick Strauss says they need to hit the Astros. At least they'd have some base runners.
Right?
Yeah, A's are 12-4 running away with the AL West. Astros now 6-9, I think.
Well, let me sum it up for you. I watched an intra-squad game yesterday that was being played in Corpus. And the Astros had a pitcher on the
That's how bad the Astros are playing.
Yeah.
You would rather watch the intra-squad game in Corpus.
Because I wanted to see the progress of Yordan Alvarez, the Cuban
phenom from a year
American
ago.
League Rookie of the Year. Well, Alvarez, they bring a guy up, first hitter, pitcher throws a fastball, the kid hits it into right. He's an Astros player as well, down there rehabbing or something. It wasn't somebody I knew, like maybe a AAA player. He runs to first, and there's like a manager or a trainer out in right field because there's not teams there.
No.
And the manager misses it, and they decided that would have been an out.
Had they had somebody out there that could play.
Caught it.
Yeah.
So they called that guy out and sent him back to the dugout. So up comes Alvarez. He looks good. He's very thin. I mean, he's fit. It's not like he got fat.
Yeah.
And he gets in the box, and the pitcher throws.
Didn't turn into Baby Huey after the Rookie of the Year campaign.
The pitcher throws one high outside fastball, and 3 curveballs that do nothing. And Alvarez works a 4-pitch walk and walks back to the dugout. I told Ash, that's not getting the kid ready to come play in the big leagues.
No.
I mean, the coach should have said, hey, all right, now stay there and bat third as well.
Well, but on the flip side is getting the pitcher ready to come pitch in the big leagues.
Right, just walk Alvarez. That's smart. But I didn't understand, it's like they're all just kind of – the Astros seem to be lacking a sense of urgency. They seem to be mentally focused that over the long haul, they're an adequate ball club. The long haul doesn't exist, and you better play good now. Now, what has Dusty Baker done to merit a 1-year extension after 15 games?
One had a winning record after the first weekend series.
Why
then they extended him.
Why not just sign him to 2 years when you first hired him? He's only coached 15 games. Oh, Dusty's our guy. We're going to ride him another season next year. What is that? How do you get that gig? I don't even give you that gig.
No, I don't know how
you better perform. Look how we put the heat on Brother Gary every week. Brother Gary better bring some content.
And he does. Look, he's already working on stuff for Thursday.
Brother Gary works on commission. He's got to bring in something.
Yeah.
Right. Him and Ralph have nothing.
30% of nothing, still nothing.
Right. Unbelievable. Brother Gary's in the house. Ralph Salazar's here.
We didn't even get to President Trump's
I had no idea.
Economic relief that he decided to just executive order.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
When I came to Magic the first time, we had met Homer. We had visited with Homer. I had no idea that Ralph Salazar was the radio legend that he is. But he told me. He took the time to explain to me. This is my gig, son. That's my mic. When you're done, wipe it down with Lysol and clean up my studio. That's how it rolls here at Magic.
And that's how it rolls.
He said, okay, come here.
We got to roll.
Gary says it ain't about money. It's about respect. That's exactly right.
Well, when you don't have any money, that's the only thing left is respect.
What's funny, though, G, is we're old school today. We lost our connectivity, so everybody does hear you on the Facebook. You're live. There you go. You look sharp this morning. He's not wearing his glasses. You think he had, like, LASIK over there?
Oh, there they are. He was cleaning.
There he is. I thought maybe he had LASIK surgery. When you're 127 years old and you have LASIK,